This is the hotel I stayed at in Zhangjajie, and these are the photos I took from the pool. Now, even to me, this looks like a pretty pricey trip, even though I know firsthand that it wasn't. One of the best things about traveling in China is that you can pretty much make it as cheap or as expensive as your imagination and tolerance for discomfort will allow you.
So we went today from a train to the 4 buses and what else? 1 motorcycle.
Yeah.
Now we're going to the pool.
So let's see just how uncomfortable and cheap this trip can get. 走吧! And just a quick note before we begin. I'm making this video in 2025 about a trip I took a few years back. The prices I will be referring to here are current as of November 2025. But even if you're watching this video way into the future, the money saving strategies I will be talking about here have most likely remained the same. To make things simpler for this video, let's assume you're already in China. And if you're in one of the big cities like Shanghai or Beijing, the quickest and most convenient option would be to simply fly to Zhangjiajie Airport. Here I'm checking ticket prices in real time, and as you can see, you can easily fly both ways for under $300, and it will only take about 2 hours. Now, your second option would be to take a high-speed train. China is very well connected by high-speed rail, and though a bit hectic, the trains are very comfortable, especially if you get a business class seat. A round trip from Shanghai to Zhangjajie train station will set you back around the same amount, maybe just a tiny bit less, but it will be a substantially longer journey of about 7 hours. The pros: you will get to see quite a bit of China for the same price as simply flying over it, and learn what it's actually like to travel on the famous Chinese high-speed rail. So, by switching from a plane to a high-speed train, you may not get to save a lot, but you will gain quite a bit in travel experience. Now, if you're really up for an adventure, you can also look into taking the slow train to Zhangjajie. See the attractive little price tag at the bottom? That's it. There is one going from Shanghai and Beijing, and the round trip would cost you around $50. But the slow train lives up to its name, and you will be traveling for around 20 hours, and sometimes even more. A few years back, I took a slow train from Shenzhen to Zhangjajie, as there was no high-speed train option back then. There is now. It was a journey of 19 plus hours, and I have to say that I got to see a lot. If this is your first time in China, taking the slow train might be a bit overwhelming. But if you're looking to really immerse yourself in the country and see it beyond the skyscraper-packed streets of central Shanghai, this will give you a very proper introduction. You also have the option of mixing it up. For example, you can travel from Beijing to Shanghai on a high-speed train and then spice the journey up with a slow train adventure. So let's sum up your potential expenses real quick. A plane or high-speed train will get you to Zhangjajie and back to Beijing or Shanghai for a bit under $300. If you're looking for a really budget alternative, consider taking a slow train to Zhangjajie from wherever you are. A slow train will get you from Shanghai or Beijing to Zhangjajie for around $50 round trip. Key takeaways here: slow train travel is the cheapest but much slower option, and it can be overwhelming if this is your first trip to China. But as a travel experience, it's sort of priceless. When it comes to hotels, there are lots of options where you can stay in Zhangjajie. Most people prefer to stay close to the Wudin Yuan town entrance. This is one of the main entrances to the park, located in a small village with easy access to shops and small eateries. It's very convenient, but not exactly quiet. It's also where most people come to buy their tickets, so things can get crowded and quite hectic. Personally, I really enjoyed staying next to one of the least visited gates, the West Gate. This area also has some very nice and very secluded hotels. And allow me to tell you a quick story. When looking through Booking, I saw this very nice looking hotel with a beautiful pool surrounded by mountains. It's now called Pandora Vista Resort on Booking, but it used to be called Homeward Mountain Resort. I was thinking about booking a stay here for a few days, but they ran out of rooms for the dates of our trip. It was a bit disappointing, so I just asked my husband to book any hotel that was on the naturey side and call it a day. And he did, using a local hotel booking site. Imagine my surprise when we arrived at the exact same hotel I was trying to get on Booking. Turns out they had another smaller hotel attached to the bigger one at a fraction of the price. I think we paid somewhere around $30 per night for our stay, and with access to the same pool and breakfast. Now, the small hotel I'm talking about here does not seem to be accepting bookings at this moment, though the bigger one still is. Here's the takeaway. You will find lots of beautiful stays in Zhangjajie on Booking, Agoda, and the like. And if you are going for a chain hotel or a luxury resort, the prices you will get here and on local websites will most likely be more or less the same. At times, you may even find better options on Booking. But if you are looking for smaller boutique homestays, you will probably find more interesting ones on local sites. Trip.com is the easiest one to use as it's in English. And as you can see here, there are lots of budget properties. With the filter set to under $20, there is still close to 900 properties available. And these are not bad hotels and not far from the park. You also have the option of looking for deals on Chinese language apps like Ctrip or Qunar, available on Play Store and the App Store. And you can also use Wechat, which is the go-to app in China for almost anything. It's a very useful one to have, and even if you can't access its full functionality without a Chinese number and bank account, it will still be very handy when navigating the country. And most people use WeChat for daily communication here. Once you do have WeChat, you can check mini programs like Qunar and others, and you can also download them as standalone apps. Navigating these websites in Chinese may be a bit of a challenge, but they're actually rather straightforward once you get the gist. Sometimes you may find very interesting deals here, but keep in mind that to book a stay, you will most likely need a Chinese phone number. A quick but very important note here. When choosing a less expensive hotel, especially on a local app, make sure that you make it clear to the hotel when you book that you are a foreigner. Hotels in China need a special license to accept foreigners, and if a hotel doesn't have that license, they won't be able to check you in. So let's sum up the expenses. Getting a hotel in Zhangjajie can be as cheap as $6 a night, but keep in mind that some cheaper hotels may not have a license to accept foreigners. On average, you can easily budget $20 to $30 a day per stay, and luxury stays tend to start at around $100 per day. The key takeaway here: check local apps for boutique homestays. Make sure to make it clear that you are a foreign national. Now, while some hotels may be cheaper than others, it's always a good idea to consider the package you're getting. Most hotels in Zhangjajie offer a free shuttle service to the nearest park gate. If yours doesn't, you will need to factor in the price of a taxi or a bike taxi to the park, or consider the hassle of a walk. Though a lot of the times we opted to walk to the park simply to admire all the scenery around us. Another important thing are breakfasts and meals in general. There are lots of places to eat at the park, but I found that a good hotel breakfast can really set the tone for the day at the park, especially if you plan to do a lot of hiking. Lots of hotels, even smaller homestays, offer free buffet breakfasts, and in China, and especially in Hunan, these are really fun. So instead of grabbing a slightly overpriced fast food meal at the park, you can start the day with a hearty Hunan-style meal. When it comes to buying park tickets, you will also have several options. First, you can book the tickets in advance using international online platforms like Booking or Klook. These are pretty straightforward to use and often offer tickets with built-in add-ons like unlimited eco buses and cable cars. Another option is booking tickets through local platforms. Trip.com would once again be the easiest option. And if the Chinese language interface doesn't scare you, you may also check other ticket deals available on apps like Qunar. Here you can often find interesting combos that include a bilingual guide, photo sessions, and lots more. From what I've seen on travel forums, a lot of people found that Trip.com had the best deal for combo park tickets. You can also book tickets through the official Zhangjajie National Forest Park website, but it's not the easiest website to use, and sometimes the descriptions for what you're buying can actually be missing. So your chances of getting something you're not intending to get are quite high. Now, you can also ask your hotel to help you book park tickets. Sometimes park tickets may actually come as a package with your booking, or the hotel may be able to get you tickets at discounted prices. At the very least, you could ask your hotel to help you book a ticket through one of the local apps, if there is a deal that has caught your eye, for example. Finally, you can buy tickets at the gate directly. This comes with some benefits of its own. First, you'll get access to all the standard discounts for students, senior tickets, and so on, and you may have more information available to you on the specific day of your visit. For example, you may check with the park attendants how busy the park is on this particular day and decide whether you need a VIP skip-the-line ticket. Or you could ask if there is a particularly long line for the famous Bylon elevator, one of the park's key attractions, and maybe decide to skip it altogether.
Is there an end to this line?
So let's compare some standard pricing options for a combo ticket for the park, plus 3 cableway rides and the Bylon elevator. On trip, you can get the combo ticket, 3 cableways and pylon elevator for a bit over $65. On Klook, a similar package would cost you closer to $75. And on Booking.com, a combo ticket including just 1 cableway and elevator costs $69. I swear I'm not sponsored by Trip, but once again here it seems to be a clear winner. While this particular combo ticket is one of the most popular options, you can always opt for buying just the entrance ticket to the park, which is around 225 RMB or around $30. And then you can purchase add-ons at the park directly if you decide to take a cable car or ride the pylon elevator. If you were to choose just one add-on, I believe that the cableway to Tianzi Mountain has the most impressive views of the park and is definitely worth it. A great way to save money on transportation within the park and to avoid the crowds is hiking. I talk about this in a bit more detail in this video, but if you ever get tired of the lines and the noise, you can always explore the exceptionally picturesque hiking trails like Golden Whip or Huanxi Village. Hiking at the park doesn't come with any additional costs, and the views are out of this world. So let's sum up the key takeaways. If you're booking in advance, check for deals online and try local websites like trip.com. Check if your hotel can give you a good ticket deal, and consider buying tickets on the spot if you're looking for more flexibility. Now, when it comes to other expenses, this is of course very personal. I found that if you book a hotel that serves breakfast and includes a shuttle to the park, or is close enough to walk there, and have your park tickets ready, there is not much additional spending to do, unless you want to, of course. There are lots of fun snacks to try at the park, but if you want a budgeted version of that, the further away you get from the park, the cheaper things tend to get.
But this is really good. It's pure hibiscus cake. Chun. It's really good.
When it comes to other attractions in the area, there are quite a few, and it all depends how much time and money you have to spend. If you had to narrow it down, I'd say that the Glass Bridge and Tiananmen Mountain or the 999 Steps to Heaven are a great option. You can also hop on a cable car right from Zhangjajie town to the top of the mountain, if you want to avoid the stairs. And now let's sum it all up by breaking down the cost of, say, a high budget and low budget Zhangjajie adventure. Let's look at the budget option first. You can get to Zhangjajie for $50 to $60 round trip on a slow train. Then, for your stay, you can pay from $6 to $30 per day if you're looking for a budget stay. Your park ticket, without any extra add-ons, will cost you around 225 RMB or $30. And for extras, let's say you can spend from $5 to $15 per day. For this example, let's say you spend $10 extra per day. So, if you stay in a hotel that costs, say, $10 per day, your total for 4 days would come down to around $160. Now, for a high-budget alternative, you can fly or take a high-speed train to Zhangjajie for under $300, there and back. You can stay in a hotel for $50 to $100 a day. Let's take $60 for this example. Your park tickets will be around $70 if you book them on one of the popular booking platforms, and then you may be spending from $20 to $100 per day on extras, or even more if you want. For this example, I'll take $30 per day. In this case, your total would come down to around $730 for a 4-day stay and the trip. Now, these numbers are of course very approximate, and you don't have to go all the way in with either of these options. You can easily mix it all up. For example, you can take the $50 train to get to Zhangjajie and then stay in a luxury hotel. Or you may want to get to the park in the most efficient way possible and then explore local homestays. The point of this video is to show you that this adventure can easily be whatever you choose to make it. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next adventure, with a latte, of course. Have a great day.